Now the shirt color is quite suitable for this GPU because right here what we have is PowerColor Radeon RX 9070 GRE Red Devil. And finally I have this type of GPU on the channel, and I'm quite excited just for the visual aspect for the first time because this looks quite impressive. And when you take a look, first thing we're going to go through visuals and then we're going to go through more details. First, when you look at the GPU, for you guys that you already had the PowerColor Red Devil GPU, you already know, but just want to mention it looks plain until you plug it in. This front panel lights up in red and you have the Red Devil logo here lighting up as well. We're having a metal backplate, 3 fans, you have 2 8-pin PCIe connectors at the middle of the GPU, and we have BIOS, OC and silent switch, which is quite alright. And I think this GPU, even though we'll see the performance, but it does look quite large in that sense when we're talking about somewhere between 9060 XT and 9070 XT. So guys, as I stated, this is PowerColor Radeon RX 9070 GRE Red Devil. Let's jump in. What we can expect from this one is 3072 stream processors, 48 compute units and 48 array accelerators. We're also having 96 AI accelerators, 48 megabytes AMD Infinity Cache. Boost clock should be somewhere around 2900 megahertz, with game clock somewhere above 2300 megahertz. We're talking about 12 gigs of GDDR6, so there is no, luckily, version below 10, and that's really good. Memory speed is 18 gigabits per second with memory interface at 192 bits. When we're talking about form factor, we're talking about, I would say, potentially 3.5 slots with 2 PCIe headers right here. We're having 3 display ports and 1 HDMI. For the display ports, we're having 2.1A support and HDMI 2.1B support. Quite a thick passive cooler when you look at it, with 7 heat pipes coming from this massive passive cooler back to the core, and we're having an additional passive cooler that is directly touching the core. So that's the only thing that I can say regarding that. But for the visual aspect and for the specifications, you will be able to check that on their official website with the PowerColor Radeon RX 9070 GRE Red Devil. But I think it's time to check out the benchmarks and all the details. I went with some synthetic benchmarks. Then we're checking some raw power in some older games, and of course the FSR compared to DLSS and 5070 Ti, and of course some older GPUs that I already have in benchmarks. So not all games have all the GPUs inside, but these GPUs that I'm going to talk about, so 9070 GRE and 5070 Ti, you're gonna have a comparison with that. So first and foremost, let's go simply with 3D Mark and TimeSpy Firestrike. But first, on all of these benchmarks, 53 degrees with this GPU was on average. So we're having TimeSpy GPU is 20,810, TimeSpy Extreme GPU is 9967. For the Firestrike, we're having GPU at 52,442. Firestrike Extreme GPU is 26,090. Firestrike Ultra GPU is 12,643 with Steel Nomad FPS 54.56. When we compare it with the other 9070 GRE that I tested, it goes below for the TimeSpy Extreme, but it goes way above for 600 points for the Firestrike Extreme. We're having, again, higher points, and then a bit lower for the Firestrike Ultra. But when we go with Steel Nomad, it goes by 1 FPS higher. So taking into consideration that we have 4 degrees lower thermals and the benchmarks are so close, you know, evening up on, depending on the benchmark, it really goes quite nicely. And then when we go with power consumption, this GPU goes from 103 watts to 134, depending on the game, depending on the synthetic benchmark and everything all together. Now, I did forget something, and in the build, I have placed AMD Ryzen 9 9950 X3D just to give this GPU a complete headroom, just to see the maximum potential of this GPU, how it can perform. And of course, we're having Kings of Fury Renegade RGB DDR5 2x 16 gigs at 6400 megahertz. So yeah, and of course the PowerColor Radeon RX 9070 GRE Red Devil. Now, when we go with the games, as I said, I have some older games which don't support DLSS or FSR, but then we're moving forward with other games. So we're having Deus Ex Mankind Divided, For Honor, PUBG, Shadow of Tomb Raider, Hogwarts Legacy, Miles Morales, Spider-Man Remastered, Witcher 3 Next Generation, Cyberpunk 2077, Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition, God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, and Starfield. When we go something that is a bit older, so Deus Ex, and when you compare it to 5070 Ti and For Honor goes into the same bucket, PUBG as well, Shadow of Tomb Raider, not as much, but when you take a look at those three games, you get 9070 GRE in general is 50% lower in FPS than 5070 Ti. And then we go with Shadow of Tomb Raider, for instance, average is 64 compared to 90 FPS. But when we move to Hogwarts Legacy, without FSR we're having 32 FPS, but with FSR we're having 149 FPS on average compared to 5070 Ti. Then moving forward, Miles Morales 91 compared to 115. So this is the only game where DLSS and FSR come quite close, because both 9070 GRE cards, 91 and 89 with FSR compared to 5070 Ti with DLSS at 115. Moving forward with Spider-Man Remastered, we're having 102, 103 for the 9070 GRE. And then you can see all the other benchmarks. For instance, Cyberpunk is quite also interesting because raw power 19.24 on average compared to 5070 Ti, which is 59.53. And then you go with FSR, we're having 138.38 on average compared to 175.25. And some newer games a bit, we're having God of War Ragnarok 67 without the FSR compared to 92 with no DLSS. And then we have 192 with DLSS compared to 107 with FSR. And taking that into consideration, you can see that 9070 GRE should be interesting to compare with 5070, but honestly, because of the Computex coming up, I really didn't have time to add that GPU as well into the bucket just to see where that stacks up completely. But taking into consideration everything, and now we have to go to thermals. So we're having 30 games, 4K resolution, ultra details. We're having average thermals at 54.85 degrees. So that is 3.15 degrees less than the other 9070 GRE. And this one is definitely quiet. This GPU runs so nice and quiet, even in full load. We're having thermals going from, I don't know, 52 to 61, and you can see that averaging on 3D Mark is 53, which is great. And in general, this GPU does keep it quiet and, let's say, cool. Not drastical cool in terms of you're having 10 degrees better thermals right here, but still 3 to 4 degrees lower, which is great because after all we're having 3 compared to 2 fans, and that's basically it. Now, what I wanted to say regarding some sort of a conclusion when we take the PowerColor and in general 9070 GRE, it's going to be interesting to see where it stacks up, because I don't have a single clue about the price. I don't have a clue about the MSRP as well. So what will happen is that, for instance, 5070 Ti currently is 1,000 to 1,200 euros. Taking into consideration how this one performs and what we will get, in that sense, we can expect something around MSRP 300, 400. But I think this, when it hits the stores, is definitely going to be 500 euros without a doubt. This is just a wild guess. I'm currently guessing and I don't have literally no idea about the pricing. So just to give you benchmarks, synthetic gaming benchmarks, older benchmarks, newer benchmarks, and thermals, consumption, and what we can expect from this card. If this card does stack up high with the pricing, and currently basically all GPUs are high with pricing, but in general this type of GPU can only benefit those who honestly don't care about the FSR and DLSS in terms of AI upscaling. Because I said that with RTX and DLSS when I did that video, and I said that for 9070 XT when I reviewed that card, that it's just upscaling and it does what it does. But in this sense, if you don't have anything against it, and if the price is right, this could be a cool card for you. Especially visual aspect, cooling, and eventually the consumption is quite alright. Even though I heard some boards go up to 240 watts, this one and the other one actually goes up to maximum 140, 135 or something like that. So guys, yeah, it all depends on the price and where it will be located in the complete scale of the GPU's price per performance ratio. That's all that I can say for today. Thank you for watching another video today, and hopefully I'll see you soon with more Computex coverage coming up. Thank you. Bye bye.